Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start to style our page. Um, Throughout the last video and through all the videos, we've kind of gotten to a pretty good place. You can see our web page and start to see it kind of come alive with the structure we're shooting for. If we look back at the example and what we're going to have in the end, we still have a little ways to go, but we can start to see some of the elements. So we want this greenish teal background in the header with some padding around the title, white text, and then a blue nav bar with a content area with white background, and then once again that greenish teal footer with some white text centered. So let's go ahead and start designing a bit here. Now since we're working with CSS and using Dreamweaver, one of the best ways to go about and start editing stuff is to go up to the top right where it says compact and just select expanded. This will make it a little bit easier working with our styles. You can see we have some new areas set right here where it says sources, all sources, a styles.css file. That's a file we created. So if for whatever reason we have multiple CSS files linked into this page, they would all show up right here. And if I go ahead and click on that, it'll show me all my selectors that I created when I was setting my divs. If I select one of the selectors, I can see all these different properties, CSS properties that I can add to my page. And across the top here, it allows me to jump to different sections. So if I want to jump to the text section, the border section, the background, or others, it makes it pretty easy and efficient to do that. So first with the container, there's a couple elements I want to add. I want to select the text properties and set a font for the whole site. So I want to go to font family, and these are some common fonts that will work on different browsers. So I'm going to select Gil Sans, and you can see by me adding that to the container, it sets it for the entire page because all these different elements are wrapped with the container. I can have something in one of the other areas to override that, but this is the font I want, so it makes sense for me to set it on the container level, so it'll set it for each div. The other thing I want to add is a white background because I want the whole back of this to be white. Obviously, I'm going to make the nav bar blue and the header and the footer green, but I want this area right here to be white and be it kind of uniform in that way. So I'm going to select right here to background, where it says background color. I'm going to click on that button, and I could go through the cursor and try to find exact white, but I just know it's FFF. Hit return. So now my whole background is white. I can still see my gray background, but my content area is white, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to save that, make sure I save out my CSS file, go back to my page, click on design, and I'm going to go up to the top and set that green color and then make my text white and center it. So once again, I'm going to select on the styles.css, select header, and go to text. I know the color I want to make this is white, so I may lose that and not see it for a second, so just go ahead and set that white. And don't worry, it's not gone, it just happens to be the same color as the background. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to background and set my color. Now you can easily go through here and set whatever color you want. I happen to know the number, the hexadecimal number for the color I want is 1CE7A9. Hit return, and I have my green background color. A couple other things I want to add. So let's go back to text. Where it says text align, I want to go ahead and center that. And text weight, I want to go ahead and make it bold. The last thing I want to add is just to have a little bit of padding around the text, so my header is a little bit bigger. So for padding, margin, and position, I can set some of these things so they're all the same. So for example, if I wanted on each side for the padding to be, say, 20, I could click on this lock button right here and just type 20 in one of them, and it would set it for each side. That can be very useful in a lot of ways. For example, our container margin was auto all around, but we don't really need it for right here. So but I would like it to be 20 on the top and 20 on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and just remove these on the sides. Take off the lock. You can see my header's a little bit bigger now. Fits along with what I had in the example. I'm going to save that out. Okay, back to design view. And we're getting closer. We're going to go ahead. The nav takes a few steps, so we're going to jump over that for now and get that in the next video. Let's go ahead and edit that footer. So we're just styles.css. I'm going to click on styles.css and then go down to footer. And a lot of these elements are going to be kind of the same as the header. So I'm going to want to go to text. For text color, once again, I'm going to set white. And then I'm going to go to background and set our green color. And once again, that is 1CE7A9. Hit return. And go back to text. Let's go ahead and set text align center. And then we'll just add a little bit of padding for space down here. So instead of adding 20, let's just go ahead and add 10 on the top and on the bottom. Good. So once again, the site's starting to come together. We can see really images, text, everything's really starting to come together. Now we just need to focus on the navigation.